and a 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. Stepping it in tonight. Just pitching you this one-on-one day with me. Woo! My name's Josephine.
Wish that you would just like go show tunes through like the stereotypes of like each episode. Like, can I steal for a minute?
Gonna make out on this bouncy castle and go to bed. Woo! My name is Corin. I got an 18, I'm 24.
That's a wrap. We're done.
I mean, we're done here, right?
Yeah. 314 subscribers!
Anywhere between 316 and 400.
Wherever. I mean...
Hopefully this is the episode.
There's a basement and a ceiling to this goal.
That's correct. Shooting for the stars, aiming for the floor. You know?
Can't miss.
You can't miss. We certainly make each other laugh. That's for sure.
And on that note, welcome back to Rose Rose. The show where we laugh at our own jokes and you...
And you probably,
like...
at the very least, exhale through your nose once or twice. I'm Sam.
And I'm Aidan.
And this is Rose Rose.
So we started with the rose ceremony, I guess.
Right.
Because we didn't do one last.
That pretty girl from Vancouver got kicked off. Whatever, it didn't really matter.
Corinne already had her rose, so she... up to bed, fell asleep. Everyone was like, that's bullshit. And Nick was like, you know what? We all just want to go home.
But not after she did a very cute whipped cream on beanbag chair duo
Out front
thing.
by the fountain.
Yeah, like...
Went out in her, like, trench coat, put some, like, whipped cream here and here, made Nick eat it off.
My takeaway was that she clearly was hammered. Like, that's why she snoozed so hard after.
Being blackout was the elephant in the room.
Yeah, and I wish that was kind of in it more. Like, I would have liked to see her guzzle down a couple vodka sodas. Maybe that's just me.
I went upstairs to cry after.
Right.
For like a tight 30, I'm sure. She's like, that was a mistake.
Then she went to bed.
I would have to go to bed too. I wouldn't be able to live myself in the rest of the
God.
night.
Just hope for a better tomorrow.
Oh yeah, the group date. Backstreet Boys group date. That's how far they've fallen. They're on the same level now as Train. They're a Bachelor band.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
You know what? I was gonna sing Drops of Jupiter,
2,
and we don't
3,
need that.
4. Can we not talk about how Nick had little to no control over who felt his attraction? Like, he was like, why don't I pick a woman in the Backstreet? Like, Nick Carter was like, no, we'll pick a woman for you. Mm-hmm. We'll decide who you have the best chemistry with, and then you'll have a date with her.
But they had chemistry, so it worked out. Not much to take away from the Backstreet Boys date. It was just a plug-in for their tour in Vegas, and I am rooting for them in the long run. I did watch their documentary on Netflix, and I did cry.
Yeah, it was dark.
So that's my truth. And then we move on to the one-on-one date with him and that teacher from Montreal, boots on the ground. I do know people that have met her before.
Really?
In a very, very, very low budge. She was the host of like some embarrassing city TV Battle of the High School Bands show. The host. So she interviewed
She's an actor.
Oh, she is a thespian at heart. A teacher by day. I don't even know if she really teaches, but she definitely...
She wants to do good, but still craves the spotlight. So, they decide to go on a zero-gravity date on an airplane. She's like, I thought this was for astronauts, and now I'm an astronaut. Let's get up here. And Nick was like, I'm kind of nervous about this. She's like, shh, get on the plane.
Yeah, very, like, hands-on Amelia Earhart about the whole situation, which was awesome. And also, it was, like, really cool. They're, like,
it actually
in midair,
really cool.
Like, bouncing around, like...
Having fun, zero gravity
making out, getting all these weird positions.
Yeah.
And then the descent happens. Mm-hmm. And so does her descent. Emotionally and physically.
Thank you.
She got nauseous. She needed a barf bucket or 3. And it was... It was funny. Not like vomiting is funny. It's just like this scenario of her being so vulnerable and like trying to look hot on camera, and then she's just like...
There's no denying it anymore.
Floating in midair, like having to yarf and like not really knowing
it's like
what
the
else
worst
she could
scenario.
do.
Yeah.
It's literally Bridesmaids, like it's happening.
Yeah.
Me and Aidan were grabbing onto each other
for dear life.
Just like it was
on our
funny.
own free fall.
Yeah, on our own emotional free fall.
Also, just like a side note, a tangent that Sam and I have noticed. Can we confirm or deny that those were Livestrong bracelets? Because I just want to know what year they're operating under. Have they heard about Lance Armstrong? Do they know about the scandal? Did they see the Oprah interview? Like, what phase of awareness are we at?
Where are we at right now? Has he been in the franchise and in so many Bachelor mansions for so long that, like,
he missed that?
I just feel
That
like
was
in
just a
terms of
quick tangent.
causes,
Yeah.
we've moved on from Live Strong, but
For sure.
it's besides the point.
Yeah.
So finally they land. Finally her stomach settles. She's like...
And what better way to settle your stomach than heading up to the tallest skyscraper in Los Angeles for dinner?
The date couldn't have followed by
The elevator opened.
appropriate-
She's like, are you fucking
She's
kidding
like,
me?
oh.
The vertigo's back. But like taken through a weird hurdle emotionally.
Sure.
They were talking about her grandfather dying, how family's important.
Fine.
Neither
Blah, blah,
of
blah,
them
blah.
have a tear going on. Like, completely straight faced. It was like weirdly sterile for me. I was like, does she know that she's talking about her grandpa dying and that made her sad? Because she's like, yeah, so I did the laundry, my grandpa died, he gave me roses, my family's happy I'm here.
But then he falls with his story about being dedicated to ABC and being, you know, homies with Chris
Rejected
Harrison
always.
at this point. And, like, he started crying, and I just feel like it wasn't warranted of, like, the topic and dialogue.
Or tone.
Sure. Like, at one point I was like, Aidan, he's crying. And Aidan was like, yeah, I know. And then he was just like...
Wait, no, he is crying, you're right.
Why is he, like, really shedding tears? And
There's
I didn't
nothing wrong with
understand.
crying, but just
love a man who cries, but like I was just trying to wrap my head around
like my brain didn't understand that I was seeing someone cry, but not hearing why they were crying.
That's right.
Like, I was like,
was it the rejection? But like you've spoken about that so many times. Like, why are you crying now?
Yeah.
They like made out like crazy, and
Yeah.
I was like, she'll probably be in the top 4, but I don't think she'll win.
Yeah.
More on that later.
Yeah.
Cut to, we go to the next group date, which was
Track and field theme.
which was a workout session outside. I liked when the 3 athletes came out, the Olympic athletes, and like only the 2 black girls knew who they were.
Yeah.
So anyways, they had to do a bunch of stupid tasks like...
Yeah, they're all Nick themed. Like, I'm sure those Olympians, like, Carl didn't want to be there. He's like, so we're gonna throw this javelin to a giant heart that represents you falling in love with Nick. And all the women were like, let's do it, give me a javelin.
Yeah.
And like, all the other Olympians were like,
I like
just
that.
give her a javelin.
Someone got extra and made out with him in a hot tub. I don't think they
Eunice?
exchanged words. Eunice, I'm not sure. Janice, something of that nature.
The, like, plastic surgeon technician.
Yeah.
Who had
Big
a lot of...
loose titties won the prize. So like... The
Shocker, she
patriarchy-
didn't have a good sports bra.
That's correct. And she won in the end. It really did work to her advantage. So
Even though
fuck
she was
me.
the slowest.
Yeah.
So fuck
Physically
me.
the worst, and
Still coming out on top.
double D's just always win in the end, ladies. So take note.
Oh, because then they do the nighttime date, and Dominique
correct.
is there. And
Yes.
Dominique has like a minor meltdown after feeling snubbed and ignored all day. And she's like, you didn't recognize that I wasn't feeling good, and like you never came up to me to comfort me. And he's like, you know what, you're right. And I think it's because I don't like you that much. So why don't you pack your bags and go?
That's pretty much the short version of what happened.
Yeah.
In her defense, like, yeah.
Pack your bags and go.
And I also...
I feel bad for her, but you're journey somewhere else.
I feel the same way. Like,
Yeah.
I would analyze all these things. Like, hey, he's standing beside her and, like, putting her arms around her, and, like, here I am in my tight sports bra. Like, I should have worn the loose one, like fucking Eunice. They're in this house with 15 beautiful women. They can't leave. So, like, there's no TV, there's no phones.
There's nothing.
What do you do for fun but analyze everything
Have
always?
psychotic breakdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know what, in her defense, I fucking get it.
How could you not?
Like, I'm barely hanging on, and I got distractions
go
up
outside
the
every
way
day.
home. And I go outside all the time.
Yeah.
I go outside all the time.
All the time.
So
You're
like-
just outside. I have to trick you to come inside to watch The Bachelor.
That's correct. I'm constantly breathing in fresh air, and
Yeah.
like,
And as crazy as they come.
and I'm fucked up. Let's talk about the next group date, which was a pool party.
Oh,
Classy
yeah.
as ever, Nick doesn't want to do a rose ceremony when everyone's in gowns, and he wants them down to their skivvies.
Yeah, he's like, no cocktail party. Let's do pool party.
I'd like to see these bitches naked.
Yeah.
And you know what? They deliver.
No one more so
Can
than
I say
Corinne.
something? I don't see them swimming.
Yeah, because they're wearing the mic packs.
Right. I barely see them in the water.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. And they also had an hour to put on their face. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna dive in with that on.
All the Anastasia contour, it's like, why even get it wet? Anyway, so yeah, fucking Corinne gets this pink bouncy castle that's fit for her
because she
Barbie.
has an unlimited budget for going above and beyond what's allowed.
whipped cream and a full-on, like, bouncy castle.
Yeah. But that
Oh.
wasn't a surprise, because it's like slowly
Months of
like
planning.
inflating, and Nick's
Yeah.
like, what's this?
And then she's just like, it's
It's a crazy thing I set up. I made it myself. She's like, I actually sleep out here.
The girls hate me. He's just bouncing around, not a care in the fucking world, hooking up, grabbing asses, grabbing hers in particular, while the girls are watching and they're just like, fuck you, dude. Like,
yeah, all the girls are like, can you believe this? And Dolphin Girl's like, yeah, she got a castle. And we're like, no, he's hooking up with her in there. And she's like, and that.
dumb as a rock,
Castle.
but I love her so much.
I love her so much.
Still Team Shark, you know?
Vanessa was so real about that.
She's
She was
dope.
like-
She's smart.
She's like, I'm better than this because you yourself said that you were going to be scrutinized and your actions would be manipulated. And yet here you are, handing yourself over on a silver platter, allowing yourself to be manipulated. And she's like, also, by the way, I'm a feminist here and I do not judge Corinne for her dumb actions.
Correct. And I'm sure everyone knew that, like, girls were watching. They were watching from the fucking tower. They're watching from the balcony.
Yeah.
React to that, Nick. Like, change your ways so that you don't seem like you're such a fucking fuckboy.
Yes. That's why you can't find love.
That's why you can't find love. Other takeaways. Corinne has a nanny. We know this. I know a lot of families with nannies, and it's a very privileged position. Okay? But
You're not
would
wrong.
they say it on live TV? Probably not.
You're right.
Would
You're
they
right.
talk about their cutting of veggies and the pasta that they can't recreate? I would hope not.
The biggest piece of shade to come out of that is when they were discussing it with Nick. They were like, she doesn't know how to clean a spoon.
Because she's a villain, I don't even know about anyone else.
You're
except
right.
for Vanessa.
This is the only season this far in that I could identify merely for women.
Yeah. I'd like to know more about the other girls because, like, I'm sick of this bitch.
Again, that's a perfect way to end.
Yeah. And with
You're
that,
delivering.
we say goodbye.
And subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe.